Paramhansa Yogananda in his original lessons written in 1925. And today I'm going to continue with the lesson on how to develop creative intuition. But before I start, I would like again to play a little taste of his voice.
Think of him. Whatever you do, give it to him. Do that. And you'll find him all the time with you. Yomam pashyati sarvatro sarvancho mai pashyate aham tanna punashyami satamena punashyati. He watches me always. I watch him always. So the flowers and the stars and human beings, he never loses sight of me, nor I lose sight of him. Thank you for this very wonderful birthday in your heart and in our heart, Mother and Beloved God.
He offers a few words in Sanskrit there, but then he describes them very eloquently after that, seeing the divine consciousness everywhere. And that fits beautifully with this theme on developing creative intuition. Again, let's see. I promised you today I would pick up where I left off on Monday, and intuition and other mental upstarts. And he talks about the way that most people mistake their hunches, their sort of raw feelings when they're not calm in their hearts and minds, with intuition. And it may end up being true some of the time, but it's by no means consistent. So he tells the story about a farmer who insisted that he had this intuition, but Yogananda said he had semi-developed intuition. And one day they were sitting in the parlor of the farmhouse, and there was a knock at the door, and he said, "Will you please tell me who is at the door?" And the man replied, "It is my uncle coming home after many years, and he never even wrote me about it." And the door was opened, and the uncle appeared, and when questioned, he verified that statement. And he said he had arrived without any warning. And Yogananda said his friend triumphantly exclaimed, "See, I have fully developed intuition and not semi-developed intuition." And then Yogananda responded, "My friend, beware. You will make a horrible blunder sometime because you've had a little intuition all of your life, but you have not practiced the technique of developing it to place you where you can really depend on it." And the farmer laughed at him. And soon this is what happened. One dismal rainy day, they sat in the same farm parlor again, when suddenly there was a loud knock at the door. And Yogananda said to his friend, "Now use your semi-intuition and tell me who is knocking." And the man concentrated for a moment, and he said, "My brother has unexpectedly arrived. Open the door." And Yogananda said he laughed and said, "No, not I. I wouldn't go near that door. My intuition tells me not to. And so you'd better open that door." And saying that, he went to the other side of the room. He opened the door, and in rushed the farm bull with menacing horns, angrily seeking shelter from the rain. Yogananda said, "The farmer jumped aside frantically, and the bull ran after me. But of course I was prepared and just stepped aside, loudly exclaiming, 'My friend, your semi-intuition indeed foretold about your brother arriving.'" Your brother, the bull, that is. What's good money? The technique of developing intuition. And he describes it here in ways that I haven't seen him use all of these words in other settings of his, other places of his writings and teachings. He says, 1, learn to reason and feel all the time. 2, whenever you want to intuitively solve a problem, first go deep in meditation and silence. Don't think of your problem during meditation. Meditate until you feel that sense of calmness, fill the inner recesses of your body, and your breath becomes calm and quiet. Then concentrate simultaneously at the point between the eyebrows and the heart center. And then ask God to guide your intuition so that you may know what you should do about your problem. So concentrating at the point between the eyebrows and the heart at the same time, at the end of your meditation, when you're completely calm, put the problem out of your mind during meditation so your mind can become one-pointedly concentrated on God. He says, first, try to find out the truth about simple problems. Then, when you find your intuition working infallibly, try to use your intuition in finding solutions for big problems. He goes on to say to meditate regularly, a half hour in the morning and an hour at night before going to bed. So that's an hour and a half a day. Then sit quietly after your meditation, feeling calm and peace. The feeling that makes you enjoy peace immediately after and during meditation is called intuition. So he defines that calm feeling as intuition that comes at the end of our meditations. Sometime during the day, your intuition might seize you when you are not thinking about it, and it will tell you what the right thing is to do. He goes on towards the end of that lesson. He says, in the hall of cosmic consciousness, no one sees, hears, smells, tastes, or touches, for everyone feels and does everything through that feeling or intuition. Don't mistake feeling for emotional feeling. He's talking about that very calm, still feeling that comes at the end of a long period of quiet concentration on God. That feeling is called intuition. He says, feel everything. In other words, intuit everything. And you will find that your intuitive feeling constitutes the body, eyes, ears, mind, intelligence, consciousness, and brain of the invisible angels. So he's showing us what many people will call the sixth sense. He's showing us that we can go beyond the five senses and close those off, essentially, as we do when we meditate in the stillness, stilling the heart, stilling the mind. And at the end of a long period of stillness, intuition, calm feeling, or intuition is born. Joy to you, and we'll see you again tomorrow.